Friends, hello, howdy doody, how are you doing? I hope everyone's well. It is Tuesday and the market is doing some things here. Let's talk about what's going on here. Obviously going to talk about Rumble and Fubo majority of this video, but I will say, because I covered so much, if you look at the stock we've been talking about here quite a bit, Trump Media here, DJT. Wow, what a day. The stock even came back today. I mean, man, when I talk about the stock, I try to I just want to be open and honest how I'm sitting here watching it too. Like, I don't have a magic ball or, I'm not a professional stock analyst. But the consensus is that I don't want to lie to people and say, yes, this should be falling apart more, but it's not. And my whole theory is that this is going to be highly manipulated, the stock here this year. So we're kind of seeing that. And it's really fascinating what's going on with the stock right now. And it is completely confusing a lot of analysts, and it's going back and forth there. So I'm getting a lot of positive feedback about those videos, and I'm getting obviously negative feedback, but either way, I appreciate everybody here. We're all investors, and we talk smack, and that's what we do. Some people a little more than not, but that's okay. So let's talk about Rumble to start off with here. So if you know, then you know I am a big investor in Rumble. I love Rumble. I have high hopes for Rumble as we go further into the future with Rumble here. And Rumble, once again, just came out with another good quarterly. It wasn't spectacular, but it did meet the quota. And they had a green light for a quarterly. And, the stock has taken a little bit of a tumble like most things this week, but Rumble actually held the win for the day in the market here with, essentially going right back up. And this is kind of what I preached on. I think I talked about this yesterday. Did I talk about this yesterday? I may have. Where I said, I think Rumble's going to play around this low 7 to a low 8 here range back and forth. And we're just going to see Rumble kind of do this right now until Rumble gets a little more feet under it. And, I would not be surprised to see Rumble go back to an $8 range and then fall back down to a $7.50 range. But this is very healthy. I mean, this is, Rumble wasn't doing this 2 months ago. Rumble was sitting at $3 2 months ago. So the fact that we're seeing, $3, $4, $5, you know what I mean here. The fact that we're seeing such heavy movement in this stock right now and really aggressive, positive movement, that's really good here. So I think it's just a matter of time before Rumble really kicks into a double-digit number here where it really captures this $8, $9, $10 mark, and we see it break into that double-digit number to where we can see Rumble really being a heavy play later in this year. And this is the basis of the video. What I'm kind of trying to say here is that there's a lot of low-end cap stocks right now. There's a lot of just low-key stocks right now that are killing it in quarterlies. They're really positive for the next year, especially when they're going to be positive in cash, low in debt, and these are things that you want when you're trying to get in early to a stock, because obviously there's a majority of us that I think we all put money into things that are just kind of your bread and butter daily business of a stock. It's safe to put money in Amazon. It's safe to put money in Tesla. It's safe to put money in, good old Walmart, something just generic and boring, even, Apple at this point, for the long term. Obviously, I'm talking about long term here. But there are those stocks like Rumble, like Fubo, and, other stocks too that I may mention here, but that are, they're low cap stocks to where they could potentially, but they're also dangerous, could potentially at the end of this year, if we see a bull run in the market, could have huge impact where they could 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x. And Rumble is definitely one of those stocks, one of those companies right now that's getting a lot of attention on both ends. You have the stock that's getting quite a bit of attention, and I still don't think that Rumble's really well known about in the world of trading. I still don't think a lot of people even know that you can buy in to Rumble. I get this sneaking suspicion with, even people that I ran into, like, you can invest in Rumble. It's kind of like Reddit. Reddit just came to the market, way overpriced, by the way, but Reddit just came to the market, and but we have Rumble here too, which is essentially growing faster than Reddit right now when you really break down the numbers. And a few analysts have actually just done that recently. But Rumble here has the stock part of it that is doing well, is going up. The numbers according to the company, good quarterlies, debt ratio with money on hand, what they're, what they have and what's coming here probably next year, more than likely. They're saying they will be debt free. So with that, then you have the actual background, the intermingling of the company, where you have a CEO who is very vocal about what he thinks about what their company is doing, what they should be doing. And obviously there was this whole thing about TikTok, and it's kind of gone quiet at this point. It is not being talked about whatsoever in the news. Congress is kind of just nitpicking on what they want to talk about, obviously, but there was the whole, we have to ban TikTok. The House voted to ban TikTok, and still that has not been pushed in the Senate as of yet. But the CEO of Rumble came out and said, hey, we would be more than willing to help TikTok use our servers, platform, whatever we can do to be a part of the TikTok business. We will gladly do that. And that really shot up not tremendously, but we did see like a 20-25% gain in the stock when that news did come out here a few weeks back. But if that were to still happen, it would be huge. But I have to be honest, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't see that deal happening. A TikTok deal and a Rumble deal are so far apart right now. I don't think it would. But in a crazy world too, it could happen, because I don't think TikTok ownership, I don't think the owners of TikTok want anything to do with our United States government being involved in their company, which Rumble is not involved in the United States government in a sense, because Rumble is free speech, and Rumble is not like other platforms that you may even be watching right now, if you catch what I'm saying here. So you have Rumble, who is pushing this free speech narrative platform, where they're really bringing in their bread and butter people, and growing very aggressively right now. So with that, we have Rumble, who is becoming a very key player in the world of a platform where you can go watch videos, you can play games, all these kind of things. And Rumble is growing very rapidly. There's no doubt about it. So looking at the stock here, the whole month has been very up and down. At the bottom here, back in March, you've got a $6 range here, and we were like, whoa, back then. And I know a lot of us were buying in then. And, that was a very dangerous zone, because we were like, is it going to go back down to 5? But, holding on tight here, and then March 13th we finally hit this $8 mark. It was kind of like, okay, that's kind of like the golden ticket. We know this is good now. If we see 8, we're definitely going to stay in this low 7 to mid 8, and then we did. And even when quarterlies came out here, we even hit $9 for a split moment when quarterlies came out here. But now we're seeing kind of this fall back down, but it's a good fall back down. I'm pretty excited about where Rumble is right now, being at this $7, mid $7 range. So I think Rumble is on the right tracks here, from what we can tell in numbers and what we know to be coming here in the future. The main thing that we want here as a long-term play is that they're bringing out good quarterlies. That is the main thing. But obviously too, with that, you're wanting your company to be cash positive. You're wanting them to continue to grow. There's lots of companies that are exceeding, I won't say exceeding, but they are meeting quarterlies. There's companies that do well with quarterlies, but they don't really grow. They just kind of meet quarterlies, and they kind of, their cash to debt ratio, all that kind of stuff, equivalent to what they have, and equities, all that. So what we see with Rumble, we see Rumble meeting these quarterlies, but we also see Rumble growing at a very fast rate, with ownership of people going and downloading the app, using it, watching their videos. And obviously, what is the main thing that you see when you click on a Rumble video? Just like YouTube, you see advertisement, and that is that's the first bread and butter money source of how Rumble makes their revenue. So I like Rumble. I like using Rumble. I like investing in Rumble. It's been very good to me so far. But I think Rumble is. I think it's the black horse in the night. I really think it's that black horse coming up out of the smoke of this year in the stock market. I think it's going to do really well here if we can ever get a big run in the market. And if Rumble continues to come out with quarterlies, it's not going to take too much more to convince some big equity firms to step in here, some investment firms to walk in here and go, you know what, we're going to start buying up some Rumble. You're going to start to see maybe some big corporations start to really show their interest in Rumble here. Obviously, I'm talking about investment firms. So friends, I'm not trying to sell you on it. I'm just trying to tell you where I'm at, how I feel about it. I'm yapping about it, and I like Rumble. I think Rumble is going to really pull off something here in the future. And, with Rumble being at $7 right now, this might be cheap here compared to 3 to 4 months. This might be cheap. It might be cheap. I remember when, I remember saying 2-3 months ago when we were, people were buying Digital World Acquisition at $20, $25, $30. I was like, guys, this may be cheap right now. And sure enough, it was. But obviously, that's a whole nother thing over there. So let's move right into Fubo. Friends, this is the one. This is the one that is the lottery ticket in your wallet that you haven't scratched off yet, but it could change your life if it hits. So obviously, I'm going to break this down as simple as I can here, even though that word is very challenging for me right now. So the simple way to say what is going on right now with Fubo TV is that they are meeting quarterlies. This is a company that by next year, they are saying they are going to be cash free. Meaning they're going to have cash on hand, and things are going to be a little different over here. They're going to have a lot more money to play with. They just beat their last quarterly, and the new quarterly that will be coming out here in about 2 months. Well, not even 2 months now. What, January, February, March, April, May. So, just a month away. We're expecting that to be another great quarterly because obviously it's going to have the Super Bowl attached to it. With that, it's going to have March Madness attached to it. It's going to have a lot of things, and Fubo is highly aggressive in the sports world, and that's where their bread and butter is. They have a sports package. So this stock right now is it's playing around this $1.50 mark, and still highly cheap, to where people, every kind of investor can get into this right now and really do something with it. So, I've seen stocks like this, man. I've seen stocks that have been worse off than this, with companies that are bringing out, like I said, good quarterlies, and then something hits, a deal, news, whatever, and it just takes off. So here's what we need with Fubo right now. There's one huge roadblock with it right now. It has investors' attention. It has investors really just just wanting to really push it more. And personally, I'm pushing all I can. I am holding quite a bit of this stuff. But the main thing that we're seeing right now with the company that bleeds into the stock is that Disney, Fox, all that one huge thing they came out 2 months ago at this point and said, hey, we're going to make our own sports package and it's going to be affordable for everyone. And obviously that is a dangerous thing for Fubo because the sports package deal is one of their main things that they sell to customers. So there is an active lawsuit right now with Disney, their whole thing. They're, I'm sure, 50 lawyers deep, and then you have Fubo, who obviously is a small fish in the abyss, huge ocean of the finances of Disney, Fox, all that, all those companies wrapped into one. We'll just say Disney in general. But It is a scary situation. I'm not gonna lie. I think it is a scary situation because I don't know that the real outcome is gonna be a win for Fubo. That I think that's the thing there. You know, I don't think there's gonna be like, hey Disney, you can't do this. I think there's gonna be some drawn out thing here where Fubo is spending large amounts of money, and Disney is spending large amounts of money, but Disney does not care because Disney has money to just set on fire. They don't care. But Fubo is not. It's a big company, but you know, a few $1 million in legal fees doesn't take long to add up here, especially when you're fighting something like this, fighting for really like their bread and butter of what they need. They need this deal to work out. So, what I can see here is that this, my fear, what I should say, my fear is that this just gets drawn out. That this continues to get drawn out to where investors get impatient. We see people just, they go like, you know what, I'm just done. I'm going to take the loss. I'm out. Let me know when it works out. And they take a loss and they take their X amount of shares and they're gone. And little by little, we start to see Fubo here fall apart and go to, $1, $40, $30, $20, $15, $10, $1. And then, then we're under $1. And when we're under $1, obviously that is a very scary situation because then a timer starts. Then NASDAQ goes, well, you're under $1, so you've only got 1 year to keep your stock above $1. And when a stock goes under $1, it can be very hard for a stock to get back above $1 because it loses so much support with investors. So I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that's my fear. That is my fear. And I think we've all seen things like that play out before. This is how companies get caught up in reverse splits, and we do not want a reverse split. We don't want to talk about that. And Fubo's not talking about that. There's nothing like that being talked about. So I'm not trying to spread rumors. There's nothing like that being talked about. But that is like my fear being unlocked. That is my anxiety right now with this stock, is that it could get bled out. We're not seeing signs of that yet dramatically. The stock is playing around this 150 to 160 and some change right now, but our hope right now is that we just make it to this next quarterly and this next quarterly is fantastic. That is the one big thing we really need a push for right now. So as long as Fubo stays around this even 130 to 150 until we see this deal be done and some good news with it, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be happy. I think the majority of us will be fine. But going back to the lawsuit with Disney and Fubo here, I don't know that there's even going to be a win for Fubo. I think it'll just be like, hey, Disney, you've got to come up with something different. You can't do that. And Disney's going to go, okay, well, we have this other plan. And then they're going to do that. So I think either way, Disney, they've tried to do this in the past too. Disney's going to do something, whether it's this year or 5 years from now. They're going to do something. But the hope is that Fubo has so much of a head start with this, is that they can do something as well to really push themselves as a company. And I'm not saying Fubo is going to be the next Netflix. It's nothing like that right now. But it is one of the most popular and last remaining, platforms where you're able to buy TV for affordable rate for your whole family, with a lot going into a subscription. So that's really where I see this in a nutshell. I am very bullish that this can work and that it should work. And I do think once these new quarterlies get closer here with Fubo, they will be good. They will be good. We know this. They have to be. The numbers should be there. And we will see it run again. We will see it run up. But the thing is that, how much more is the stock going to bleed out? How much damage are we going to take with Fubo here until we get some kind of something happens here with Disney and them? And I don't know. But if something comes out and it says, hey, Fubo wins the lawsuit, yeah, expect the stock to jump dramatically, because then it's just like the doors are open and it's going to be bringing in a lot of big investors. So if you're here biting your nails, kind of worried about what's going to happen with this, you are not alone. There's a lot of us all together here, and we're just like, it's a risk, man. I'm not going to lie. This is a huge risk, because this is one of those things where it could go really good. I mean, like crazy good. I mean, this is a stock where you could easily 2, 3, 4 times X if we see a bull market kind of fall into place here sooner than we know, as long as the stock survives. Or this could be really drawn out and turn into a nightmare of a situation. So that's investing in a nutshell too. But friends, that's kind of my spiel right now. Like I said, I'm going to try to mention a lot more stocks here, things I've talked about in the past, things that people are asking me to talk about. I kind of gave my spiel on cannabis, and I think people were kind of disappointed in that, but I'm not really sold on cannabis stocks right now, particularly because the United States is not sold on cannabis stocks, and that's cannabis in general. So that's kind of why I'm just like, But friends, it's Tuesday. I wish you all the bidding in the market this week, and people make lots of money. The Bitcoin halving is going to happen here very soon. So expect crypto to really start to shoot off here very soon. It is a fabulous time to buy in right now. Friends, talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.